Hey everyone, my name is Kathleen Perillo. I'm one of your instructors for the Field Studies in Biology, and this is...
Hello, I'm Robin Dobson, and we'll be working together.
Okay, so we're on a walk today, and we came across this huge dead tree on the ground, and you can see a stump next to it, and it's teeming with ants. I'll try to get close up. You can see these ants moving back and forth all over it. So when you follow that over to the stump, the ants are there as well. You just can't see them as well as the other view, but you can see something else.
And you notice here that something has been digging into the old stump, and I'll put a ruler up. You can see it's about two inches, and we believe this is where a woodpecker has been digging into the wood to get at the ants and the ant larvae inside the wood. Usually this is a very common sign that you will find on live trees and dead trees.
You can see some very fresh holes that the woodpeckers have made, and then some older holes as well. Okay.
And given the size of it, it appears to be kind of a smallish woodpecker. And then if you look down here on the ground, we noticed some interesting little flowers. What's interesting about these flowers, if you look carefully, the leaves wrap around the stem and form sort of a sphere. And this is not a common case for leaves, but it certainly helps in identification. You also notice that the flowers have 5 petals, and they're fairly easy to count. Also, notice that the leaves have the margin of the leaf is very smooth, no teeth on it. The leaf is very flexible and lettuce-like. And in fact, when you identify this plant, you will find that this is a very edible plant and is commonly put into salads.
It's called miner's lettuce.
And it is found in the Pacific Northwest.
It does get bigger in our area in Washington State due to more rainfall in that area.
A few other things we'll notice since we're right here is first this large cone on the ground, and we will talk about this cone later at a later date. But behind this cone is a shrub and it has some interesting flower clusters. They're urn shaped, they're pinkish, and the leaves are very leathery. They feel like leather, they're stiff. And also notice that the mid vein comes up the center of the leaf, and then there are side veins going either direction throughout the leaf. And this is called a broadleaf.
That's a good
plant.
Okay, this is on a shrub. I'm going to zoom out a little bit just so you can see. And the bark of that shrub is really, really pretty. It's kind of reddish, rusty color. This is not a common shrub in Washington State. You'd have to go to the east side of the Cascades to see it, but it is fairly common down where we are in the Siskiyou Mountains, and it is called Manzanita, which is Spanish for little apple.
And isn't it related to kinnikinnick?
It's related to kinnikinnick, which is common in Washington State.
Yeah.
So that's in a small area. We found some Manzanita and looked at the flowers. We found a cool pine cone that we'll talk about later, upcoming session. We found some miner's lettuce, and we looked at those woodpecker holes over on this big dead tree. There's lots to be seen on a walk in nature, even in just one small area. So tune in for a future episode of This Week in Nature.